Hey, how you doing? And thank you so much for tuning in. So, why am I here? Because I am reviving the Bernadette T Henry Show. And just to give you a little bit of history, I started the Bernadette T Henry Show back in 2017 as a way to repurpose content. So, I would read my blogs, I would stream or upload live videos that I did, and it was cool. It wasn't consistent, there was no plan, there was no strategy behind it. But I realized that over the years, people are still listening to it. Every single week, I receive emails saying, your podcast was downloaded this amount of times. And it's usually at least 10. And this is without uploading new episodes. So this time I am going to take it seriously. I'm going to be more strategic and we're going to make this happen. So I figured that in this episode one, I will give you a brief overview of myself, who I am, and then really explain the concept of jump, right? You will learn more as we go along, and this is a new journey for me. So I'm actually taking you on this new journey. So I thank you for being here. I thank you for listening. Be sure to share, be sure to comment, be sure to just leave your feedback so that I can know what you think. And it's really going to be critical in these early stages for me to have your feedback so that I can make this a better show and a show that's going to be valuable to you. Okay. So in this episode, I'm going to do a mini interview with myself. Okay. Okay, so many of us have ideas, dreams, and goals. However, at times we may let past experiences, limiting beliefs, and doubt get in the way. Some of us have gone through some type of trauma. Some of us have gone through low self worth. Some of us have even suffered some type of detrimental habit that wasn't good for us. Some of us have been through bad relationships, and the list can go on and on and on and on. And as a result, you deem yourself not worthy of fulfilling your dreams and goals. You either think that you're not worthy, or you think about other people's thoughts. So before we get into this jump, let me introduce myself. My name is Bernadette Henry, and I am a jump rope instructor and mental health and emotional wellness coach, helping overwhelmed women stay fit physically, mentally, and emotionally. With over 20 years of case management experience and nonprofit work, I'm passionate about supporting others in their life's journey. I am the founder of Make It Fun NYC, a lifestyle brand focused on helping you live your best life, body, mind, and spirit. My brand has been featured in national magazines and digital platforms, including the Dr. Oz Show, Advil, Today Show, Good Morning America, and much more. You can find me teaching jump rope classes and helping overwhelmed women stay physically active and emotionally fit and mentally fit as well. I enjoy spending time with my family, which includes my husband and three young boys, two with special needs. Okay. So in the year of 2000 to 2001, I remember calling my coworker and I said, hey, if you don't see me tomorrow, I'm dead. And yes, I had a plan to take my life and I took action. But somewhere in the midst of that, I decided to go to the hospital. I don't know how I made it there, but guess what? I made it. My life was spared. And that moment started the path to my healing. But guess what? I was still living recklessly. And even though I maintained my job and my housing and things like that, I just like committed myself to this insane lifestyle that just like it was like I didn't have a care in the world, right? And I sometimes have flashbacks of these moments and I'm just like, why am I still here? But of course, some of you that are familiar with me, you know I'm still here, right? I'm here to help you. I'm here to save your life. In the midst of it all, I was introduced to the jump rope. And in hindsight, did not realize that it would be a lifesaver, right? After several miscarriages over the years, I finally had a successful pregnancy with my now 13-year-old son. I decided during pregnancy that I would get my life together. I committed myself to therapy, right? But life wasn't perfect, but I just wanted to try. I was a single mom with him. And then a couple of years later, I ended up pregnant again. I went to therapy again. And at the time, I was introduced to a special therapy for victims of abuse. It was so amazing because it opened me up to a lot. And there are different types of therapies out there, right? And you really, really have to, you can't go to a generalized therapy for a specific problem. Now, if you just need to get therapy, if you just need to go get help, yes, start the process, go get help. But eventually, if there is a significant issue that is affecting how you're currently living, then you really, really need to seek that out. And that was the best thing that I have done. So after a few years of having my middle son, I noticed that something was different. I never thought of autism until someone mentioned a thing about a spectrum. At the time, I was truly, truly stressed. At and at that time, I was able to go to the gym almost daily. Like there, I did all kind of workouts, but the constant was always jump rope. And let me tell you something. While you're listening to this, just let me tell you this. Exercise is therapeutic, but it's not therapy. Exercise is therapeutic, but it's not therapy. So if you listen to me, I did the route of therapy first before this exercise was introduced into my life, right? Because exercise will alleviate you of the pain for the moment, but you need coping strategies to deal with the real life issues as they come up, okay? So please remember that if you don't remember anything else. Now, at that time, I was able to go to the gym almost daily, did all kind of workouts, and was really paying attention to my health. And in 2012, I even told people that I would jump rope on TV and I was really the TV, right? But whoever knew that years later it would become a self-fulfilling prophecy. During the chaos that I was going through at the time, being a single mom and just having this child that was on the spectrum, didn't know what to do, was kind of navigating all of this by myself. At the time, I was living in Newark, New Jersey, traveling to the Bronx for work, and it was a whole total hot mess. And couple that with my history of being depressed, couple that with my history of that suicidal, ideation that I had and attempt at one time. Couple that with the reckless style of living, and that right there was just still living recklessly. That right there is a recipe for disaster. But guess what? I am still here. And during the chaos, I continue to jump, right? JUMP stands for Journey of the Underdog Making Progress. Journey of the Underdog Making Progress. See, I'm not supposed to be here today, but I decided to take action. I decided to do the things that would elevate me. Jumping is a verb. Jumping is a verb. And what is a verb? It is an action word, meaning you have to do something, right? So when you have a jump rope in your hand, when you turn the rope, what is expected? It's expected that you jump. It's expected that you do something. And now if you turn the jump rope and you don't jump, what's the rope going to do? It's going to hit your foot. And the rope is not going to go over your head until you take that action and jump, right? It's the same thing with your problems. See, the jump rope represents your problems, the issues that you have. The issues that you have, they're going to come swinging all the time. And it's either you're going to have to stay there and wallow, or you're going to take action, right? You're going to stand there, or you're going to keep getting hit, or you're going to take the action. Now with running, right? And let's do a comparison with running. You can easily stop pumping your arms, but your legs will still go, right? And this is kind of how it is when you're dealing with these unresolved issues, right? You have these issues in the back of your mind or wherever they are, and you're still going on, you're still functioning, but at some point it's going to catch up to you, right? So this is why you have to take action. So when you're running, you can easily stop pumping your arms, but your legs will still go. But with the rope, right, you're in constant state of motion, right? So things come, boom, you take action. Things come, boom, you take action. Things come, boom, you take action. So the constant thing is taking action. And this is why we have the journey, because every process that you go through, it's not going to happen 1, 2, 3. It is a journey that you have to take. Okay. So that's just a little backstory about myself. So let me ask myself these other questions. Now, how did my journey shape me into who I am? A lot of the experiences that I went through, they were like not really good experiences at all. Or some of them wasn't good experiences. Some of them was self-inflicted. Some of them were inflicted by others. However, if I did not go through these experiences, I would not be the person that I am today. I would not have fought so hard to get to where I am today. So unfortunately, when we're dealing with certain things, we don't like it at that moment. But in hindsight or later on in life, we see how this thing has served us, right? But the thing is to work through it, because if you don't work through this issue, it's going to come back in some way, shape, or form. So you have to deal with it. Okay. And if you don't deal with it, you are not in a position to help somebody else get out through their problem. Now, can you tell me about a time in life where you had no clue about your direction? Now, with this whole jump rope and coaching and all of these things that you see me doing today, I had no clue that this is what I would be doing. I had no clue whatsoever. When I tell you that this like fell in my lap, it literally fell in my lap, right? And this is what happens. You have to just flow with the direction of where things are going. You got to go with the wave. But like I said, if you have things that are stopping you, and if you didn't take action, you're never going to be in that position. Now, how did I overcome this depression, this suicide attempt, this reckless way of living? How did I overcome? I overcame really through getting the proper help that I needed. And it wasn't a one time thing. This was years and years and work and self realization and the willingness to do it. And I would say, too, at some point, my kids began to save my life, because if I didn't have them, like, who only knows? Who only knows? Um, how long have I been in this space of motivating others, inspiring others? To tell you the truth, I've always been a person of help. You know, I'm one of those people that I'm meek, I'm quiet, I'm willing to really, really be there to help you. And let me tell you this, when I was a little girl, my first dream job was to be a queen, right? Queens help people. And then I wanted to be a teacher. Teachers help people. Then I wanted to be a librarian. Librarians help people. And then I wanted to be a social worker. Social workers, they help people. So out of all of those careers, well, guess what, y'all? I'm a queen, okay? I am a queen. You know, hold my head up high. I am a queen. And so are you, sister. If you're a sister and you're out here listening, you are a queen. So I did the queen, right? I never became a librarian. I did work in a library, but I never became a librarian. I did teach once upon a time before I became into the social services field. I was a teacher in a charter school. And then, even though I never obtained that goal of being a social worker, I've worked as a mental health case manager for over 20 years. So I've worked with mental health, drug addicted, HIV, medical issues, you name it. I've done it, but the main thing has been really around the mental health. So this has really prepared me for what I'm doing now. In addition to the life experience, I've been helping people for a very long time. Um, and if money wasn't an option, what would I do? I would help people. Like, helping people is a passion of mine, and like I said, this is something that I've been doing for a long time. And even before getting into the business of life coaching and wellness coaching for women, I would like offer sessions to these women to help them get through their things. Like, I've worked with moms who suspected autism but didn't have the support. So I was able to support them in getting the child the help that they needed. And then there's other women that I've helped with various problems not officially, but now at this point, this is the direction in which I am headed. And no, not working in a space of a therapist, but in that space as an accountability partner that's really going to hold you accountable to your goals. Okay. What advice would I give to my younger self? I would say that I would have told myself to really live, right? To really live, travel, like hang out with my friends all the time, and not in a way that I did, because I literally recklessly lived my life in my 20s. It was really, really bad. Like I said, I'm shocked that I'm still here. But yeah, I would like really tell myself like you should have, you know, like I don't know, like seen the world, traveled to different countries and states and cities and the whole shebang, right? You know, and go out on girl trips with my friends, and I explore all the nice fancy restaurants. I love to eat. I love to go out to eat, but these are kind of things, that I would tell my younger self, like, do, like, learn more, grow, do the things to push yourself to grow. And because these are the things that I really missed out on in my 20s. I even with the jumping rope, right? I was jumping rope, like my I really developed it in my adult years. So like at the age of 19. And a lot of times I think to myself, like, why did it take until I was in my 30s to start getting recognition for something that I was doing like since my early 20s, when my body was good, like my knees were good and I was just good, but mentally, emotionally, I just wasn't in that space. Like, oh my gosh. And that's another topic for another podcast. Like, imagine, oh my gosh, I'm not going to go there today, but just everything that's happening to me now, like just the condition in which I was living, it would have been no space for me to be on nobody's TV or magazine or podcast, not at all. Or randomly seeing like one of my social media followings randomly in the street. No, the way I was living, it was just not the way. What keeps me motivated to keep going? Really, just the willingness to know that I have something. I really, it's really about saving lives. Like, I am in this position where I can help to save someone's life. Like, I had to go through the craziness. I had to go get the help. I had to do the thing in order to come and save somebody else. And that is my mission. That is my purpose. That is my purpose. That is my purpose. That is my purpose, to save lives. If you don't remember anything else, that's all I want to do, is save somebody's life. How do I plan for rest and self-care? It's still something that I'm working through, I'm working with, but really realizing that I am important, right? And I have to be intentional about taking that time for myself, because if I can't recharge myself for myself, who am I going to be for my children, my husband, my family, my job, my business, my the people that I'm serving, like you? How am I going to do it? So I basically have to set boundaries, right? I have to set boundaries with people, places, things, responsibilities, and make sure that I put myself in there. Because a lot of times, especially as a mom and a wife and an employee and an entrepreneur, you try to put everybody before you, and you want to take care of everybody else. But when it comes to yourself, you kind of put it on the back burner, and you really can't. Like, and this is why I, go out for my walks. This is why I go to the gym. This is why I listen to podcasts. This is why I do these things, because I have to recharge. Because if I'm not recharging for myself, I'm no good for nobody else, right? And also too, to ward off different health conditions. Because guess what? When you're stressed out, it will like badly affect your health. And I'm a living witness, because it's happening, but I'm reversing it. Okay. um and the last question that I have for myself is, where do I see myself 5 years from now? I see myself on some big stages. I see myself traveling the world. I see myself just impacting, women in a way that that I've never done before, and this is just the masses, not just maybe the 20 people that may be listening to this or whatever. And maybe this will get out to a lot of people. Of course, if you share and spread the word and things like that, that would be a great help. But I want to make a global impact. And of course, this impact has to start at home first. So it has to start here. I'm in New York City. I'm in the States. It has to start here. So once my diehards, once my tribe, once y'all really begin to share the word and the message and all that good stuff, you never know whose ears this will hit. So I definitely, definitely appreciate it. So that really concludes this episode. And I am so grateful that you were able to listen. Now, like I said in the beginning of this episode, I am reviving the Bernadette T Henry Show, and I plan to be here every week. And there will be a different, I guess each week will be a different format. So one week I'll be doing a personal development thing where it'll really be scripted out, and another week I'll do wellness, so emotional mental wellness, and that'll be more of a free form type podcast. And then I'm of course going to have something with physical wellness. As I was looking through my podcast, the current ones that I have, I noticed that like anything that I spoke about, jump rope and physical wellness, those numbers were really high. Like people really, really enjoyed them. And then last but not least, at least one interview a month. And I plan to bring some amazing people, especially since I'm talking about wellness and mental, emotional, physical wellness, because guess what? It's what's needed. It's what's needed at this time. Is between everything that's been going on, the level of depression, mental health has went up sky through the roof, sky roofed, and but hopefully we'll see better days. Hopefully we'll see better times. So that is all that I have for you. Be sure to check out the site for other episodes and be on the lookout. And thank you so much. I will talk to you soon.